The story begins in a time when dinosaurs roamed the Earth, meaning that there were no signs of humans yet. However, we learn that there are planets in the universe where the human race still exists, and they are quite advanced in technology. We are shown one such planet where a family is sitting on a beach. The father's name is Miles, and he is sitting with his wife Alia and their daughter Neville. Here, we find out that Neville has a serious illness that requires a lot of money for treatment, which Miles currently does not have. This causes him great stress, as he cannot let his daughter die, no matter what it takes. Miles approaches his wife Alia and tells her that he has found a project that could provide them with a substantial amount of money. This project requires him to take a research team to another planet. We learn that Miles is a pilot who transports people from one place to another. When Alia hears all this, she becomes quite scared because such space missions are very dangerous, with a risk of losing lives. However, Miles explains to her that they have no other option and must do this for their daughter's safety, in return for which they will receive a lot of money. When Neville learns about this, she tries to stop her father, but in the end, she understands that he is doing all this for her treatment. So, Miles bids farewell to both his wife and daughter and leaves for the mission. We see Miles aboard a large spaceship, which he sets to autopilot mode to sleep, as it will take several days to reach their destination. As the spaceship travels through deep space, a number of asteroids suddenly appear in its path and begin to collide with it. Although the spaceship is on autopilot, Miles wakes up immediately. When he arrives in the control room, he realizes that there are many asteroids in front of them that have almost damaged several systems of the spaceship. At this moment, Miles realizes he cannot do anything, so he veers the spaceship toward a nearby planet, of which he knows nothing. Their spaceship divides into two parts and continues to fall towards the planet. During all this, Miles gets injured severely and falls unconscious, while all the researchers and soldiers on board are also lost. When Miles regains consciousness after a while, he notices that a piece of metal has embedded in his body, causing significant bleeding and pain. Nevertheless, he manages to put on his spacesuit and step outside. Here, Miles realizes that he has no problem breathing. He is surviving even without an oxygen mask. Looking around, he sees that all his teammates are dead, leaving him completely alone on a planet he knows nothing about. After exploring a little, he begins to suspect that this planet is none other than Earth, where dinosaurs once ruled, meaning there are still no signs of humans here. Miles is terrified because his rescue team cannot reach him, and if they do not arrive, he will be stuck there forever. He spends several days in this condition. At one point, he feels like he should commit suicide to end his suffering. However, he remembers his daughter, whom he needs to save. Gathering his courage, he tries to find a way out. Unfortunately, many systems of his spaceship are damaged, and it cannot fly in its current condition. Miles feels lost and uncertain about what steps to take next. While he is in the spaceship, he notices some strange movements on the screen in a chamber. He realizes that signals are coming from there. Miles deduces that a member inside the sleeping chamber is still alive. Miles immediately went to the chamber and opened it, discovering a little girl named Kova, who was severely injured and unconscious. He brought Kova into the spaceship to keep her safe. However, the next day, when Miles woke up, he noticed that Kova had escaped. Miles couldn't keep everyone happy. He had to protect himself and find a way out. So, he set off to find the other part of the spaceship, which contained another space shuttle. Until he found that shuttle, he wouldn't be able to escape this place. For all these reasons, Miles began his search for the other part of the spaceship that actually housed the shuttle, which was his only option for getting out. Unfortunately, the navigation system he had was also damaged, so he had to search for the shuttle on his own. As he moved forward, he came into an open field and saw the bones of many large animals. These things were so dangerous that he had no idea what kind of creatures were around. As Miles moved ahead, he noticed something shiny on a mountain in front of him. He had an advanced telescope, which he used to see that it was indeed his other space shuttle. However, he would have to travel several kilometers to reach it. When he looked down from there, he saw several dinosaurs running away, but suddenly a small dinosaur attacked Miles. He managed to avoid being bitten and killed the little dinosaur. Miles realized that this place was extremely dangerous, so he had to proceed with caution. As he was moving toward his damaged spaceship, he heard some noises coming from the bushes. When he went to check, he discovered it was Kova. She had run away from the spaceship out of fear the night before, but Miles wondered where she would have gone. He immediately took Kova with him and headed back toward the old spaceship. Now, Miles tries to explain to Kova that there is only one way to get out of here. They need to find the space shuttle located on the other mountain. However, Kova doesn't understand anything he says and doesn't respond, indicating that she simply doesn't know Miles's language. To communicate, Miles decides to draw. He sketches a mountain with their spaceship on top, showing that they need to reach there. After explaining everything through his drawings, Kova seems to understand. However, she begins to speak in her regional language, expressing that she won't leave without her mom and dad. The reality, which only Miles knows, is that Kova's parents died in the accident. Miles doesn't tell her the truth. Instead, he lies, saying that her parents are waiting near the space shuttle, and they must reach there quickly to escape. Kova understands this and gets ready to go with Miles. As Miles is moving away from the spaceship, he finds a tape recording sent by his wife. The recording reveals that their daughter's health had deteriorated significantly, necessitating her immediate transfer to the hospital for treatment. This clearly meant that Miles's daughter needed surgery as soon as possible, otherwise, her life would be in danger. The surgery would also require a lot of money, which Miles currently does not have. Therefore, he needs to return home alive as soon as possible. With this in mind, Miles moves forward through the forest with Kova. He is determined to cover the kilometers needed to reach the spacecraft. Suddenly, while walking, a strange bug lands on Miles's neck. When he swats it away, a strange liquid spills out, covering his hand. When he wipes his hand on a tree, the bark sticks to it, making the whole scene quite funny for Kova, who bursts out laughing. Kova laughs at Miles, but he remains serious and tells her to be serious as well, because this place is not a garden, it's dangerous. As Miles and Kova move forward, they hear the sound of a dinosaur screaming. When they investigate, they find a baby dinosaur stuck in a swamp. It struggles to get out but fails. Seeing the dinosaur in distress, Kova immediately rushes over to help. Despite Miles trying to stop her, he eventually joins her to save the baby dinosaur. Together, they manage to pull it out safely. However, the shocking part is that other baby dinosaurs soon appear and begin to attack the rescued dinosaur, as all creatures in this ecosystem are dependent on one another. Miles stops Kova, explaining that this cycle of life cannot be disrupted. One dinosaur survives by consuming another. Ignoring this harsh reality, Miles takes Kova and heads towards where the spacecraft is located. They still have a long journey ahead, and it's uncertain what dangerous creatures they might encounter. Rather than waiting and dying in one place, they decide to push forward. Miles starts to feel comfortable with Kova, as he views her as a substitute for his daughter, Neville. Kova is playful and incredibly cute. They take a moment to rest by the riverbank, where Miles needs to figure out their direction and locate the shuttle. He climbs a tall tree to get a better view with his binoculars. However, it seems that Miles's luck is bad, as the branch he is standing on suddenly breaks, causing him to fall from a great height. When Miles lands, he breaks his arm and is in significant pain. Kova rushes over to help him, but her cries attract dangerous dinosaurs to their location. These dinosaurs were so dangerous that they could take down creatures 10 times their size. However, Miles was aware of the threats, so he got up, grabbed his gun, and started firing at them. Although he managed to kill several dinosaurs, their numbers were overwhelming. He quickly told Kova to run and hide somewhere safe, assuring her that he would reach her soon. Kova immediately ran away and hid under a tree, thinking she would be safe. However, the shocking reality was that the area was full of flying creatures. As she tried to stay hidden, one of the dinosaurs caught her scent and approached her to attack. Just in time, Miles arrived and started shooting at the creature, but another one grabbed Kova and began to fly away. All the creatures were frightened of Miles's gun, but he couldn't let Kova be taken. He began shooting into the sky to scare them off, and soon the creature let Kova go and fled. Kova was so terrified that she wouldn't approach Miles, but he reassured her and suggested they rest in a cave for the night. Miles thought they would spend the night there and continue their journey in the morning. However, the cave could also be dangerous. If a threatening creature entered at night, they would have no way to escape and could end up in grave danger. Miles set up some sensors around the cave so that if any living thing bumped into them, an alarm would sound, alerting him to its presence. After applying all the security measures, he sat down to rest. Miles started looking at pictures of his daughter because he missed her dearly and was afraid he might never return to his family. While checking his advanced device, he discovered that multiple meteors were set to collide with the planet within a few days, hurtling towards Earth. This was a critical moment, as it was similar to the time when meteors had wiped out the dinosaurs. For now, Miles decided to sleep with Kova. It was midnight when the alarms suddenly began to blare. Miles quickly woke up and noticed a strange bug in Kova's mouth. He managed to kill the bug and make her vomit it out. Just then, the alarm rang loudly again, indicating the presence of a large creature. When he looked around, he saw a massive dinosaur, a T-Rex, sniffing their scent and approaching. As the T-Rex attacked, Miles took Kova and slipped into a small crevice nearby, which seemed to be their only option for escaping the dinosaur. They crawled through the narrow opening, but soon reached a dead end. Realizing they needed to make an escape route, Miles pulled out some small bombs and threw them into the crevice, hoping that the blast would widen the opening. The bomb exploded, creating a significant hole, and Miles and Kova pressed on. However, as they continued, large rocks began to tumble down, blocking their path. They found themselves trapped in a precarious situation. Miles searched desperately for Kova, but lifting the heavy rocks alone was impossible. He knew Kova had to fend for herself to stay safe. Meanwhile, Miles spotted some dinosaurs on his side and shot at them to distract them. As Miles moved forward, he finally emerged from the cave, determined to find Kova first. However, when he looked up at the sky, he noticed a massive asteroid hurtling directly toward him. Miles quickly analyzed the asteroid with his system, which indicated that it would collide with Earth in just a few hours. The time was running short, and the group of asteroids was about to impact Earth with tremendous force. This meant they needed to escape as soon as possible. Miles began searching urgently for the space shuttle so he could take Kova and leave. Meanwhile, Kova had successfully exited the cave but was aware of the dangers surrounding her. To protect herself, she picked up a bone and covered it with toxic berries, ensuring that if she attacked any creature, it would be killed by the poison. As Kova moved cautiously forward, small dinosaurs suddenly attacked her. To save herself, she hid inside the bark of a tree, afraid to come out. On the other hand, Miles was frantically running to find Kova, completely unaware that he had fallen into a swamp. With every movement, he sank deeper. He yelled for Kova, hoping she could hear him. Kova, having heard his voice, quickly left her hiding spot and blasted the dinosaurs nearby to eliminate the threat. When she reached the swamp, she saw Miles almost fully submerged, with only his hand visible. Without hesitation, Kova extended a branch from a nearby tree so Miles could grab it and pull himself out. If it weren't for Kova, Miles would have surely drowned. Finally, both Miles and Kova managed to escape the swamp and made their way toward the mountain where their space shuttle was located. Without wasting any time, they reached the shuttle. Miles began checking the systems to identify which ones were malfunctioning and worked diligently to repair them. Miles was busy trying to get the space shuttle started so they could escape. However, Kova became very upset when she realized her parents were not there, which meant Miles had lied to her. She started crying and sat down in despair. Seeing this, Miles tried to comfort her by showing her a photo of his daughter. He explained, "When I was on a mission, my daughter died tragically, and I didn't want to put you in danger by revealing the truth about your parents." Kova understood everything and hugged Miles tightly. They decided to start the spaceship and get out of there as quickly as possible. Miles focused on powering up the shuttle, but they had no idea how unlucky they were. Suddenly, an asteroid fell from the sky, crashing directly onto their spaceship, damaging many parts. Fortunately, Miles had moved the shuttle to the side, so even if the remaining parts of the spaceship were destroyed, they could still escape. However, as they prepared to exit, they were confronted by a massive dinosaur that was destroying the shuttle. In fact, there were two large dinosaurs. Miles quickly retrieved his gun, which had fallen outside, and rushed out to engage the dinosaurs. He started attacking them with his weapon, but they were wreaking havoc. Kova, sitting inside the spare parts of the spaceship, played a hologram of Miles's daughter to distract the dinosaurs. This worked, giving Miles an opportunity to strike. However, the second dinosaur quickly caught on and charged at Kova, trying to destroy the hologram. Miles wasn't about to miss this chance. He maximized the power of his gun and shot the first dinosaur in the neck, killing it. In this way, he also finished off the second dinosaur. Miles sighed in relief, but then the large T-Rex that had attacked them in the cave earlier came back. When Miles shot at its body with his gun, he realized that its skin was so tough that his shots had no effect. Miles began to think that this dinosaur could harm Koa, so he quickly moved to the other side to give her a chance to escape. The massive hybrid T-Rex approached Miles toward a rocky area where hot steam was rising from the ground. Miles was lying down and gradually moving back. The dinosaur entered a canal in the rocky area where hot air was flowing out. Miles thought that if this hot air hit the dinosaur, it might be killed. The high-temperature steam began to fall on the dinosaur's body, but shockingly, it didn't seem to affect it at all because its skin was much tougher than that of other dinosaurs. Just as the T-Rex was about to take Miles's life, Koa rushed in from the other side and thrust her pointed weapon, coated with poison, into its eye. This caused the dinosaur a lot of pain, and the poison started to spread through its body. The dinosaur writhed in agony and moved to a spot where the temperature was very high. As steam began to emerge from its body with intense force, the dinosaur couldn't withstand it and burned up completely, collapsing there and dying. Koa then helped Miles and quickly brought him to the shuttle. According to Miles, it was now time for the massive asteroids to collide with Earth, wiping out the dinosaur species. Before all these incidents could happen, Miles and Koa entered the space shuttle and activated it, launching straight into space. Earth was beginning to be devastated by those huge asteroids, erasing all traces of the dinosaurs. However, this didn't affect Miles and Koa because they were headed to another planet. Although Miles had lost his daughter, he was determined to move forward. But Koa had become like a new daughter to him. Therefore, Miles began to head towards his planet where his wife was waiting. In this way, Miles had found a new family. And with this happy ending, our story comes to a close.